Welcome back to Rolling with Story. This time we're doing the Plot Thickens again. Some mad hypotheticals that have been prepared for us. Connor, are you ready for this?
Yeah, it's practically treacle right now, bro. Yeah. Practically treacle. It's thickening to a deep molasses.
Yeah, I'm going to be like a Canadian with the maple tree. I'm going to stick the tap in, siphon it out.
Yeah, drawing the goods.
Okay, today, creating doubt in the party's mind. The concept is there's a crazy mage who's trying to tear the party apart, and they can send one identical message to everybody's mind. What would that message be? What would you send to them?
Oh my gosh. Don't trust the person next to you.
Yeah, it's a staple.
Just a straight.
Yeah.
Or just don't trust, and then one person's name, and then just let the ball like.
Yeah, I think so. And if you can get the circle of distrust where everyone distrusts everyone else, then it's the perfect chaos, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've actually done this to me.
Have I?
Where
This is outrageous. I plead the fifth, man. I've never done this.
Now, my character was a darker character. I've talked about it before, Belladonna DeMarca. She was on the darker side. And we had a party member join who had this magical sword. And the magical sword could speak and it could send little messages and stuff. And basically, the magical sword could sense that somebody was awry. Someone was distrustful and saying, you can't trust, or like, don't trust, or something like that. But basically, because I was a shifty character, everyone then thought it was me, including me, where I was like, okay, right, so I must be bad. There's something bad's going to happen. I'm going to be possessed by a demon secretly. There's going to be something that goes down. It turned out that an NPC who was actually with us was actually a bad guy. And that was the whole thing. So yeah, you did this to me before, and it worked a treat.
Yeah, and I knew it would as well, because there was so, like you said, there was so much like discourse about your character, and your character was so kind of anti everybody, not anti, but you had a different set of morals, and they were more like grey morals in a kind of lawful good that kind of comes grey in that sense of like following a kind of devout law, but the law itself was kind of quite grey in its moral nature. And then you've been cursed as well, and I was just like, it's time. I know what I'll do. I'll really put the nail in this coffin. And because I knew that I had that NPC who was actually the Dark One, which was like a nameless god, right? That followed you, Arcanius the Dread, and he was in part of the party. And I unfortunately threw you under the bus, and I apologise for that.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but it was awesome, and it was a cool like story thing. And I think when you're causing discord in the party, having there be adding something to the narrative, I think, because that clearly added something to the narrative. Whereas if you're just throwing bombs down to destroy your player's party and the disharmony, think maybe how can you as a DM create this in a direction that will generate more narrative, I think.
Yeah. That was a classic, that was a misdirect. It was a misdirect classic where I was like, I know that your character will be the scapegoat, which means because of that, I could slip something cool under the radar. So it's kind of looking for those opportunities to go like, okay, if I did this, they're all going to blame your character. Great. Which means that I can slip in something basically scot-free. Like, I can get away with murder because I know that they're going to blame you, but I can put something in there to then reveal later a kind of further date, which will be a bit of a, whoa, got you all.
And it was that. And also, I liked the pun because you probably wasn't intentional, but you said get away with murder, but it was actually the god of murder who you stuck in.
Yeah.
So there was a deeper subtext puns going on.
I meant that as well, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
How would you do it, Sam? How would you, do it in a way that's, I guess, that kind of, because I know with your character, it was quite a lot of pressure being the scapegoat for this, and already quite a high pressure campaign. So Have you got any ideas how maybe you would have tweaked it if it was you doing it instead of me? How you could have tweaked it to kind of ease the pressure, or if you've just got a kind of different idea for maybe creating some doubt in the party as well?
I was kind of thinking, could you go down something down the backstory route? And it requires you to
Okay.
have kind of know everyone's backstories to a decent degree and find some unitary thing. Because you can't say, we've captured your mum if their mum's dead. Like that,
Yeah.
and their mum isn't. Like
That could be doubt, man.
I mean, that
I got
could
a
be
mum.
spooky.
I got a mum.
That could be spooky. But I'd do a little bit of digging. I'd find some weird constant in there, all their backstories, and then I'd throw something that would be applicable to all of their backstories in a way that could like lure them into a trap, lure them into a location, that sort of thing. I think,
Yeah.
and then I jump them. Yeah, yeah, I
I
jump
was
them.
like, when I think of doubt as well, I'm thinking of like, maybe is there a way you could do a kind of like, you give them a holy relic or something, but then um, when you go from town to town, people are telling stories and they're all like negative, or like bad things are happening wherever this person goes, and you can like kind of try and convince the player that they're doing bad things without their knowledge or something, and
Oh,
like that their reputation is becoming negative even though it's not them doing negative things. Maybe there's like a doppelganger involved or something. But like, I was trying to think of like that, like how do you make them doubt themselves, doubt their character? Maybe like
werewolf. That's where my
werewolf.
brain goes. Is werewolf.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
that's
they're
exactly-
changing at night.
they're
and,
changing at night.
oh,
Something's
that's
happening.
good.
No one knows. Like their
You
clothes.
wake
are
up
ripped.
and you've got some fur on you, or
Exactly.
yeah, you've got the
Exactly.
clothes are ripped, or that's good.
That
That's
would
good.
be good. That would be good.
Real
Like,
subtle things as well. Like
Yeah.
you could do like vampirism would work as well. Like, oh, you've got like an aversion to light, or your fingernails start to grow. Or something. Yeah, that's
that
cool.
would be cool. Actually,
That is actually cool.
That would be
Doubt.
cool.
What other forms of doubt is there? So there's like doubt in the character.
You could do cursed. You could do the item they don't think is cursed that is,
Yeah.
or the item they think is cursed that isn't.
Ah.
You could do a whole weird thing like
You
that.
could have like a shifty character warning about something that's real, like, oh, this is going to be terrible. This disastrous thing is going to happen, but they're shifty and they're like, oh, do we believe them? But then you could like add credit to the shifty character, and they're like, maybe we have to believe them now, but they're so shifty and I don't really want to do it.
Yeah,
And then you could have that kind of doubt coming through that way.
yeah. You could have like. It depends how long term this misdirection plan is, but if you're thinking long term, you could do like a boss at some point mentions something about an item that they have, something, and they're kind of like, oh, well, he's lying, isn't he? He's lying, and then maybe it crops up in a book somewhere else, like a month later,
Okay. Yeah.
in it like, and a couple episodes later, and everyone's like, oh, right, okay, let's link those two together. Is this real? And then you could, and like I like those where you can throw in little bits. You've done some good ones as well, which I think is a really cool world building thing, what we have talked about before, which is the concept of urban myths that aren't necessarily true. I know you really like them because it adds loads of flavour to the story where like no one actually knows how the dragons are made. Some people say, like a basilisk, it was a chicken that lay on a serpent's egg or whatever, or the opposite way round, or to some people they are formed from the clouds and they fall down in rain every 1,000 years. And no one really knows. You can do little bits of that, and you can sprinkle a bit of truth in every one.
Yeah, yeah. Always the
Yeah.
the shard of truth within the kind of cocoon of much lies.
yeah.
But that's a really good way that, yeah, you could, I guess, to throw some doubt through that as well, of like, if one thing I wouldn't do, one thing that has been happening to me before is don't throw doubt on things that are quite dear to the players. That's an interesting thing. I've had this before where I've had something that's quintessential to my character, and then someone's kind of thrown in doubt for it, and you're like, oh, that's quite core to me, who I am as a character. Now that, so like, let's example of, you're a paladin, a holy paladin of an order of light, and your whole character's kind of based around that, and then your god turns out to be a lie or something like that, and then you're like, my character.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be good. It can be good. I've done it before. I think it's the way you execute that isn't it? It's like you
What's
can
the
do that.
I'm interested in your example. That like,
Oh,
what situation did this happen to
it
you?
was a long time ago. It was like a kind of one-shotty thing I did with got kind of off a Facebook group, and it was I was a I was a paladin of some war god, and then the war god turned out to be kind of like like a necromancer or something, and the finger of death killed me, and I was
Oh,
like, oh, why?
oh right.
There
Oh
was
yeah,
like some
that's
stuff
really
leading up to
weird.
that, but it was like a bit like I've kind of lost my god. I'm like an oath breaker now, but I didn't really want to be.
See, yeah,
Made me doubt
see
my kind of
that
character.
that I yeah, I really don't like the forced oath break in that
Yeah,
respect. I think if you're going to have an oath break in the Paladin arc, it should be choices you've made, not things that were done to you.
yeah, that's
Or
interesting. That's good.
or it could be something that in the arc of the story your god gets killed, and rather than being an oath breaker, it's just your oath doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
And then part of your thing is finding somebody else. That could be an arc, but again, that's there's narrative consideration there. Whereas it
yeah,
sounds like basically the DM just wanted to like
mess with me.
gotcha,
Gotcha.
which like you said a really good point in, as we've mentioned before, we're making our own TTRPG game, and Connor's been doing some really cool descriptions in the book. One thing that was in there is avoid gotcha moments, and I think as a DM,
Yeah, yeah,
reveals are cool, gotchas are not cool
yeah. Got
because you make your party feel dumb, and
yeah,
then your part, and then all your why do you want to make your friends feel dumb?
yeah.
Like
Don't do
why
it.
do you, that's belittling
Don't-
people, and that's just
yeah.
a weird personality trait if you like doing that.
One thing I did think about as I was thinking about this, because
Mm.
obviously as we were talking, I was like, how would I do it, and how would I do it well? One way you could do it, I think, is maybe make the player doubt their patron. That could be quite interesting. Like their god, a divine god, maybe is a bit too much justice, and makes a call that is too harsh, and you can like maybe sow some doubt in the character to then have a weird oathbreaker moment where they kind of doubt and build doubt between like a patron and a character. That could be really fun. I think it has to be done well.
Yeah,
I think what so for Belladonna, she was of the Dark One, and obviously the Dark One was revealed to
but
be
she
a
wasn't at the
character.
start.
Oh, was she not?
No, she was of Taldor at the start. So she was of the god of hope and light. Then one of our PCs died.
Yeah.
Oscar died,
Oh yeah.
and then like she went over to the Dark One because she thought that she could get Oscar back, but she couldn't. But by that point, she'd already kind of slipped from the poison chalice. And to be fair, the Dark One was pretty sick. Like he was
cool.
he was a straight up killer. So when you're on his team, he was giving you handouts and gifts quite a lot. But it started to turn quite dark, as you would expect. She started to get cold feet, and then it all came to this massive head, didn't it? In this the big fight where she tried to get him, didn't she? With some, she used the god killing dagger on herself to destroy the shard of the Dark One in her, severing her from the Dark One, and then she eventually became part of the God King. So she had three gods at certain
Nice.
at different points to get.
Doubting cool. Between gods.
Yeah, but it was a story. It was a narrative arc.
Sure.
It was an awesome arc, and it was really satisfying to play this highly religious character in like the turmoil of faith. I thought that was a really cool thing. But I'd also say, me and you have a lot of trust in each other as DM and player, and we're best friends. We've known each other for years. That would be a complex story arc to do. First character with a new DM. Who's not your mate.
For sure.
That would be very, very difficult.
That's always a pinch of salt, isn't it, when we say these things, because we are so trusting of each other to kind of go like, oh, you're going to take me this way? Let's go for it. Let's try. Yeah. Because that DM that I talked about, that kind of thing where I met up in that other group, he might have had something really good planned, but maybe we didn't have that relationship built with me going like, oh my gosh, this is happening very fast, or I don't feel, maybe I was doubting the DM. There we go, another form of doubt. There, you know, you can get to a point of like, that's a bad form of doubt. You don't want to doubt people at your table.
No,
don't get there, guys.
No.
Don't get there.
Make the player characters doubt, not the players doubt.
Yeah,
I think is the
caveat.
Yeah, you can make them like, you can put them in pressure, like the boss fight where they think, oh, it's all over, we're going to get TPK'd, and then they don't. You can make them doubt whether they're going to survive, but don't. I hate it when people go into things looking for TPKs. Like when you're like, I'm gonna get him. Like you can go, I'm gonna give him a tough time.
I don't think those games last long. Like,
No,
surely they don't last long, because I don't think people would like if I like that game. Like that was probably. I think I went one more time, then I was like, this is not for me. I left because unfortunately that's the way. There's lots of people playing at the moment. There's lots of different groups. And maybe we're in cities, so that might be different for other people. But yeah, like if you're going to kill everybody at the table and it's kind of you against them, I don't think your games are going to last very long. I don't think you're going to. There's another bit that I wrote in our book game that we're making that you're there to facilitate. Really, as a DM, that's all you're doing is the other half of the collaborative storytelling. You're not there to crush your players. You're there to help.
Exactly right.
Amazing.
And that's a really brilliant final note. I think we're going to round off today's Plot Thickens. People, we want to hear what you would do. How would you create doubt? Chuck it in the comments. We've been getting loads of cool comments from you guys. We want to hear more. We want to see more. So chuck those comments on. Thank you so much. And as always, keep on rolling.
Keep on rolling.